From April 2027, everything changes. Now, right now, your pension normally sits outside your estate for inheritance tax. But from April 2027, that protection will disappear, meaning your family could face a 40% inheritance tax bill on the money that you thought was safe. Now, what if there was a way to keep your 25% tax-free cash outside of your estate and still use it to give you a tax-free income in retirement? Now, my name is Steve Barnes. I'm a chartered financial planner and a fellow of the Personal Finance Society, and I've spent over a decade helping families save tens of millions in inheritance tax. And in this video, I'm going to show you a simple but powerful strategy that hardly anyone seems to be talking about. Honestly, I've looked and I cannot find anyone proposing this strategy, but it could genuinely change how you decide to take income from your pension over the next couple of years. Now, before we start, this is a brand new channel, so if this kind of topic interests you, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll be posting more ideas like this shortly that I'm pretty sure you won't have seen anywhere else. Now, let's start with the basics. So there are two main ways that people usually take income flexibly from a pension. Option one is to take all of your 25% tax-free cash up front as a lump sum and then draw taxable income from the remaining 75%. Option two is something called drip feed drawdown. Now, each time you take money from your pension, whether that's monthly or annually, part of it is treated as tax-free cash and part of it is taxable income. Now, many people will use drip feed drawdown to provide a steady income in retirement. So, for example, if you were to take 3 or 4% per year from your pension, it could last for your lifetime, depending on your investment performance. Now, up until now, one of the big advantages of a pension has been that it sits outside of your estate for inheritance tax. But from April 2027, that changes. The value of your pension could be included within your estate when calculating inheritance tax. And for many families, it could mean an extra 40% tax on their largest asset. So here's the big idea. Now, what if you could get the same income as drip feed drawdown, but ensure that the tax-free cash portion ends up outside of your estate? Sounds good, right? This solution is something called a discounted gift trust, often shortened to DGT. Here's how it works. You make a lump sum gift into a trust, but right from the start, you carve out an income stream for life. So I'll use an example because that will really bring it to life. So John has a £1 million pension. Now, if he takes 25% of that as tax-free cash, which is £250,000, he can then invest that money into a discounted gift trust. And he could choose to take, say, 3.5% income per year, which is £8,750 each year. And it's tax-free because it's treated as a return of his own capital. Because he gifted the money into a trust, it's classed as a potentially exempt transfer for inheritance tax. And after 7 years, that £250,000 sits fully outside of his estate. Now, let's compare John's two choices side by side with an example to make it easy to understand. So I'm going to assume that the investment growth after all costs is exactly 3.5%, so that it matches the income that he's taking, and so that the value of his pension stays the same throughout time. Now, John takes £35,000 or 3.5% from his pension each year, which is a mixture of taxable and tax-free income. After 20 years, he's taken £175,000 of tax-free cash and £525,000 of taxable income. His pension is still worth £1 million because of the investment growth, but when he dies, the entire pension is inside his estate, meaning 40% inheritance tax on that 1 million. Now, that's £400,000 going to HMRC. And when his children draw that money out, they'll also pay income tax. Now, instead, John can take all of his tax-free cash up front, £250,000, and he can invest that into a discounted gift trust. Now, he can take 3.5% income from the DGT, which is £8,750, and he can also take another 3.5% income from his remaining pension, the £750,000, which will give him taxable income of £26,250. So his total income is still £35,000. It's identical to before. And over 20 years, he's received exactly the same mix of tax-free and taxable income. But when John dies 20 years later, something very different happens. Only his £750,000 pension is now inside his estate. So his inheritance tax is only £300,000 instead of £400,000. The DGT sits fully outside of his estate, so it passes directly to his children. And they only pay tax on the investment growth since he set the policy up. So it's the same income, the same tax in his life, but £100,000 less inheritance tax on death. Now, one of the key points here is time. So because the discounted gift trust is treated as a lifetime gift, it only fully falls outside your estate after 7 years. So the sooner you plan, the sooner the 7-year clock starts ticking. Now, it would be remiss of me not to cover the potential disadvantages of using this strategy. So once you set up a discounted gift trust, the income that you choose at the start is fixed. You can't increase it, you can't take extra lump sums later. So if you need flexibility or big one-off withdrawals, then this might not suit you. But for many people in stable retirement who just want a steady income and want to pass on their wealth efficiently, this can be an incredibly effective structure. I think that this is one of the simplest and most powerful inheritance tax strategies available right now. It keeps your income the same, but it can save your family hundreds and thousands in tax. I can't find anyone else talking about this, and I think it's something that more people need to understand before the 2027 changes arrive. Now, we've just covered the big idea, but this strategy really comes alive when you understand how a discounted gift trust actually works behind the scenes. Now, in this next video, I'll walk you through the mechanics, the tax treatment, the income options, the underwriting, all of it, so you can work out whether you think it's suitable for your situation. Watch that one next.